Welcome to Learn to Live Stress-Free. This is Christine Wright with Dr. Robert Wright Jr. of www.stressfreenow.info.
This is Dr. Bob, the stress and pain relief doctor, coming to you today from someplace off of Denmark. And I want to talk to you about a 60-minute show where the guy who's now the Secretary of Defense said on 60 Minutes, when he was a general, he was the top general, and he said that when he gave an order, his own people wouldn't listen to him. And then the 60 Minutes reporter asked him why. And he said, because I'm black. And so he had to have a subordinate give the orders so that his white officers would follow his orders. So this is the guy who is now the Secretary of Defense for the United States. On the same 60 Minutes TV show, they had another black gentleman who was the top F-22 fighter pilot in the history of the United States Air Force. And why was he on 60 Minutes and why was he talking about it? He said that no matter what he did, his colleagues were intimidated because they saw him as a big black guy. It didn't matter if he spoke softer, if he spoke louder, if he went out for drinks or he didn't go out for drinks. They were intimidated just because he was black. And so after 11 years in the Air Force, he was still only a major. Now, to me as a civilian, that didn't mean anything. But when I spoke to people that were veterans, they were like, oh my God, the top F-22 fighter pilot, 11 years, he's only a major? He's not even a colonel? Something's going on. Yeah, well, there's something. So there he said, right on 60 Minutes, right after the general came on. And he said that he's leaving the United States Air Force because he realizes that being a black guy, even though he's the top, most skilled person in that area, he can't advance his career. And so he was going to Harvard Law School to fight on a different front. So this is the real America. And this is the people that have played by all the rules. Right? So think about that. Think about that. So that is the kind of stress that most black people are under. And that's why I say when an incident happens, it's not a microaggression, it's a macroaggression. There's a whole series of research articles about burnout, stress, anxiety, and also the epigenetics of the stress, where what happened to your great-grandmother and your grandmother and your mother, that has changed the DNA and the gene pattern. So women that were stressed out during their pregnancy, whether it was your mother or your grandmother or your great-grandmother, that shows up in the child. So the child could be low birth rate or have some kind of genetic disorder, like a blood dysplasia or something like that, that they would not have had if not but for this racism. And so this is an area that it's like, in mixed company, this is like almost a taboo subject, but it has to be talked about now because we don't have any choice, right? Since 2015, it's been pie in the face. And here's what I mean. In 2015, no, there was 2016. I was right before the presidential election. I was in the Walmart parking lot in the Fort Lauderdale area, and a guy came in a red pickup truck, a big, huge, like a Ford 250, F-250, big red pickup truck. He was dragging a white noose on the ground, as if, I can't read tea leaves. And then right after that, on the night before the election, a woman pulls up in a huge white SUV, like the size of a Cadillac Escalade, while I'm on my porch smoking a cigar. And she says to me, "Better not vote tomorrow." Well, guess what? I was the sixth person at the poll to vote. I was there early. Polls open at 7. By 7:10, I had already voted. So this is the kind of nonsense that's going on inside the United States that people don't want to talk about. But I'm talking about it because it has to be talked about. No more taking low. That's it. That's over. So if the United States wants to talk about democracy, let's get some democracy inside the United States. Look at the state of Georgia. Look at what just happened in Tennessee, right? So unless you are either living in a cave or under a rock, then even Ray Charles could see what's going on. So this is Dr. Bob coming from someplace in Denmark. Not getting off the ship because this is, we're in some kind of container port and they don't have a regular shuttle. So it's some kind of independent shuttle. Whenever I see that, and the cruise line was, we're not responsible for what may happen to you. Like you could miss the ship. I stay on the ship. I don't get off. And so that's one of the beauties of a cruise. You don't have to get off the ship. And years ago, when I met people that told me they took 3 and 4 day cruises and they didn't get off the ship, I was like, what are you talking about? You take a cruise and you don't get off the ship. Well, now I've joined that crowd. In fact, I took a 7-day Mexican Riviera cruise on this same cruise line, and I didn't get off the ship at all. It stopped in Cabo de San Lucas, Puerto Plata, and Mazatlan, and I didn't get off the ship because I wasn't feeling it. And so this is Dr. Bob telling you to consider taking a cruise because it provides you with a wide array of options that you don't have when you take a regular vacation. Like the room service is free. I don't know about you, but I like free room service, especially after you go to a place like French Polynesia and you see that dinner for 2 in the room with just tea or coffee is $900 plus 30% tax and gratuity. So this is Dr. Bob signing off from StressFreeNow.info. Until next time, be safe and be well.